As you can see, we've arrived now back at the status screen. And right now, for James' test, my son, his status is still incomplete, and we are required to submit documentation at this time. So let's review the required documentation. Documents that are required to be submitted along with your application is a copy of the birth certificate for the student, and also a copy of the utility bill for the residents. A student who is applying for 9th or 10th grade at the Woodlawn campus must submit an essay, and it can be submitted with these documents as well too. Going back to our status screen, let's go ahead and click on the Submit Required Documentation. There are two ways you can submit required documentation into the system. You can upload scanned images of both the birth certificate and proof of residency, and, if necessary, the essay, or you may mail the documentation to the University of Chicago Charter School. If you select the mail option, information will appear below with the address that you will send the documentation to. On each one of the pieces of documentation, you must indicate the application number as found at the bottom of this screen. This number is vital to make sure that the documentation is aligned with your application. Please make sure that your documentation has this information available. Now let's review uploading documentation. In order to upload documentation, it must be in one of the three required formats, either PDF, JPEG, or PNG, and they cannot be more than 100 kilobytes in size. So I've already scanned my son's birth certificate and my proof of residency. I used a ComEd bill, and they are scanned and they are waiting to be uploaded. So, since they exist on my system, I'm going to browse to the location and provide a link to them. If I press Browse, I'm able to go to my desktop and select Birth Certificate PDF, and I hit Open. If I have proof of residency, I can also select my bill and hit Open. Essay is not required because my son is trying to get into the first grade. At this point, I can hit Submit and Continue. If an error occurred, it would tell me that either the file would not be uploaded, either because it's too large or not in the required format. In this case, they have both successfully gone through. I need to certify that the information I'm providing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. When I'm ready, after I've clicked yes on both, I'm able to continue. At this point, my son's application is complete. All the required information has been submitted to the admissions office, and they are verifying the submissions. It might also be a good point to double check my email. And as you can see, they've received my documentation, and once the application has been processed and all attachments verified, my application will become complete. So I'll probably receive an email a little bit later. Let's return now back to the enrollment system. If I wanted to submit another student, all I would need to do is begin the process right from here. And let's do that. Let's call this Grace Test. And we'll hit Submit. And as you can see, now Grace is now incomplete, and it's starting me with the process all over again for entering the student information. Skipping ahead, I've already entered in the student information that is required for Grace Test. So far, it is still incomplete, as the submission of the required documentation still needs to be handled. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to select Mail, and we'll send in our documentation via mail. And we'll hit Submit and Continue. We'll confirm yes to make sure that the information we've submitted is true and correct. And we'll hit Continue. And as you can see, Grace is now complete, verifying submissions. However, I still have one more step. I need to send in the qualifying documentation for Grace Test. If I check my inbox, there will be a new message from the enrollment system. Let's click on that and scroll down to the new message. The message is telling me that they've received my application, and to complete the process, I must mail in my proof of residency, a copy of the child's birth certificate, and if the student was applying for 9th or 10th grade, the child's essay must be attached as well too. The email is also pointing out that I include this ID number on each document, and to send all documents to this location. This will conclude our tutorial. Please remember that the deadline to complete your application is March 6, 2010 at 11:59 p.m. For more information, please go to our website, www.uei-schools.org. And thank you for watching.